Hello everyone, this is Forger, and welcome to turn one of my Natgen series. We're just going to take a look at some of these nations for this episode, and I haven't looked at any of these. I don't like pre-looking most of the time, but once we're in game, I like to take a gander. Well, pretty straightforward. Oh, this is cool. This is like a Furbolg. Is that kind of like a Furbolg giant race? Anyways, let's see what they got here. Leadership 80 and inspirational. You're gonna see a lot of that guy. Oh, got a little lag there. P1. What is going on? P2. Wow. Okay. Cross pass water, air, and fire mixed with death. Oh, this guy. He's gonna do winds of death and nonsense. High morale is gonna be pretty important for some, if I recall. What is going on? P2 with those randoms. So it looks like it's strictly just fire, air, and water on top of death. Oh, that's gonna be nice, stealthy. So he can raid provinces with horde of skeletons from stealth and can cloud trapeze with a group, and then do horde of skeletons or air elementals. Brutal. Okay. Oh, this is pretty cool. He'll die to crossbow fire like anybody else. He hits pretty hard. 9 attack sucks. Anything like 4, which you don't see too much of, but anything like 4 will repel this guy to oblivion. $30 gold for 33 hit points. That's what you like to see. Usually you like to go gold for hit points, but anytime you can go like more hit points for the amount of gold you're spending is pretty good. And like he's got good morale and whatnot and defense. He's got only fit one to a square, but it's good value. 33 hit points to 30 gold. Is that your sacred? Ah, this guy's gonna be a problem. He should die to crossbow fire. No shield. And the defense doesn't matter. He's probably got larger. I don't see why he wouldn't take larger. That would pump him up to 369, probably 11, so 46 health. Huh, interesting. Oh, this guy just puts his own name. What? Oh yeah, that's right. He re-rolled and re-rolled to get this. And I'm like, you playing the same nation as me? Does he have the same first guy as well, I don't know who's playing the guy up above. O'Shaughnessy's. Yeah. I'm gonna look it up real quick. He is Oshana. Poulter. That's Poulter's. Choxney. He just uses his own name, so I don't have to look him up. Yeah, same thing, but a short bow, which is far less effective. But like people with like protection 9, short bows would chew them up if other people are running like that. Even protection 11, and all this guy's got a shield, but enough short bows, they'll take some attrition. This guy's got basically the same shit as I do. Oh, except he's got axes. Where I have like spears and swords, he's got axes and swords, and one guy with a spear. He's got some magical armor. Oh, this guy's huge. Protection 18, defense 13. Yeah, that guy's pretty strong. How much? 38 resources, 23 recruitment points. These guys will be a lot to chop down. Overcharge. It's going to do a lot of work. He's got a full set of magical armor. So breaking that with magic will be pretty hard. But even that being said, that's going to be a hard one to deal with. Great pass. Cloud Trapeze, Iron Skin, all that stuff. Earth Power. He's got innate glamour, which gives him stealthy. Astral. Great pass for thugging with this guy. Does he have... He has some blood. But he has no... he's going to find Lasermen and stuff to build rings of regen and whatnot. Oh my god, this is killing me. I don't know why it's doing that. If you know why it's doing this, let me know, because this is kind of brutal. Okay, so we have basically the same age as this dual wielder. You know, he's an Air 1. He can self-cast a spell, and I won't see him doing too much thugging. I don't think that's enough to keep him alive. This guy, oh, that's so good for a quick thug. I gotta say, his nation is making mine look a little, putting mine to a little shame. Stone Trolls. Sorry, I had technical difficulties, and I'm back. Let's continue with, or begin with, humans. Alright, so we've got Lamias prefer cold scale. Oh, does that mean they're cold-blooded? Oh, if he went cold, it's going to help against these guys. One thing I wish I was better at was reading this and just kind of knowing how deep the paths were. I know there's a generator, but it'd be kind of cool just kind of like know it off by heart. Just like everyone else got... Oh, I was going to say to have an 80 leadership, but Suman's got... and please correct me if I'm saying your name wrong. I'm just going to call you TX until you tell me how to say your name. Wow, Inspiration 2 and Leadership 120. So that's plus 4 morale. And it seems like their lowest morale person is 12. So that's going to be 16 min. That's significant. Because just like we saw before with... you're going to see Winds of Death and Wailing Winds and whatnot in this game. So 16 morale before anything else, and like Priest got 17 and all those other bonus whatnot. You're going to be able to stay in the game before routing for even a couple rounds longer can mean a big difference, because winning one fight against like a Doom stack or like a heavy stack of Wailing Winds casters is huge to breaking through. I guess you could say that about any kind of army, but that's gonna... This is beautiful. I love this. The only thing I would probably love even more is if this commanding champion had a shield to save from, you know, a lot of people probably got arbalets and crossbows in this game. So you're gonna see a ton of attack rear or even attack none, so that way they have a chance to actually target out commanders and whatnot. P1s, P2s, nothing too crazy, unless they... No, okay, nothing too crazy. Astral 1, 65 gold for 7 research. I mean, you can't really use it for battles too much, but Communion Slaves, these are going to come in huge. You're going to see a lot of these probably recruited everywhere. Astral 3, there we go. You're going to see a lot of Astral nonsense. Fun, mine hunts. Great. No fun for anybody. Alright, Berserker 5 P1. I'm not sure how many of these we're going to see. P3, Divine Insights. I have no experience with these at all. I don't know if they're good, they're bad, or how they work. I know like loosely how they work, but I don't know how effective they are. They could be super effective, I don't know. But having a peak 3 is very nice. You can claim thrones for a throne rush without having to summon stupid fish and give them air breathing amulets or whatever. Apothetical Keeper. Okay, another Astral 3 with, okay, some randoms and whatnot. Get some natures and what, nature for some Moonvine bracelets, I guess. I don't know. It's crazy. 25%. So you can get a... Oh no, if you transform them, they don't keep their regen, I don't think. That would be kind of crazy. Nature 3. Yikes. Okay, Foul Vapors. And they all come with poison resist. So... Yikes. I'm going to be the first person out of this game. Alright, so the units. Kopesh. Just some sort of sword or something. Not sure what a Kopesh actually is. Claw, innate weapon, and Arbalest are pretty good. I'm pretty sure they only shoot every 3 turns. Yeah, 3. Pretty strong though. 16 armor piercing. And precision 12. Can't cough at that. They got pretty high attack, it seems like. 11 and 8. They're strong, they got high attack, but they are pricey. 30 gold, oof. But these are going to kill some things. I'm sure he's going to recruit some two-handers to deal with some sacred problems or high prop problems. A lot of people, I'm assuming, went for wind, earth cross paths, but we'll see. I'm a sucker for sword and board. I always have been, always will. Very nice. Defense is just a bit low to be using that proc and that shield all the time, but still, its 11 is higher than average. Oh, I'm also a sucker for that bronze look. Protection 20. Oof, with regen. I like it. Encumbrance is 7. It's a little high, but not up in the 8 and 9 territories, but just a bit high. Map move 10. Age 60. How old? Okay. Everything that seems to have magic resist 12 as well, so that's going to come in big against other astral nations or people who are going to be using any kind of spells that target that. These guys are going to be quite good at shrugging that off. A flail. So these guys and Berserk 5. Okay, these guys are designed just to murder. They're going to have what, Prot 20. I'm pretty sure that just adds on top. I can't remember how that works. It goes in basic natural protection up to 10. Anyways, they're going to be at like 24, 25 or something like that. So that's big. Their defense is going to be 1. So anything that can bring... oh no, that doesn't matter. They won't be repelled because when they're Berserk, their morale will be high enough. Hell, 16 is pretty high to ignore the repel check. So very dangerous, these ones. Are they recruit anywhere? No, capital only for 40 gold. Okay, so evocations should be able to take care of these guys unless he's got like the resist or whatnot. But these guys are also very dangerous. I almost don't want to show you guys mine. You guys are gonna laugh at me. Alright, very nice, TX. That is scary. Moving on to Tauntland, who is played by Rosvia. Bats and humans. Ghoul and undead and lizards and olms. Okay, anyways. Lots of... Even these guys are slaves. So the nice things about slaves is that, like, morale... sorry, not morale. They're half upkeep. So, like, where the normal person... Okay, yeah. The normal person, the upkeep for an archer like this would be 6 gold here. This person only pays 3 every turn. So you could see these en masse. And longbows are not bad. So this is... Almost like this game you want morale, air shield, and poison resist, but those are easily casted. Sorry, I'll go in order. Slave, Taskmaster, and Inspirational. If he's got one with... He's got a Taskmaster master with 80 leadership, that'll probably be handy. No. So he doesn't have the greatest leaders. This guy's not bad. And he's a P1 as well. I don't know what he's got going on here. Cold-blooded. Storm power. Storm immunity. Interesting. Spell Slinger. That's something else. And as far as I know, it like takes longer to cast spells, but it's less fatigue to cast them. If I'm wrong about that, just let me know. I'm not too familiar with using Spell Slinger. And they can be used as communion slaves too. So this guy could be a communion slave, possibly. I'm not entirely sure about that. Ooh, mundane research. That's powerful. So, he is going to be taking negative scales in that and reaping the benefits. Blood Searcher, pretty standard. Fire, Earth, Crosspaths. Blood. Okay. Oof, there we go. Okay, this guy can be an 8 or 3. And that's pretty big. Everyone knows all this fun stuff you can do with that. Invulnerable 20 as well. That's interesting. But you're going to be seeing Strength of Giants and Marble Warriors and all that fun stuff from this guy. Does this guy have randos? Yeah, he does. Okay. So he's going to have all sorts of combinations. I'm not going to break down all the combinations and whatnot. I'm just looking at things for the first time here. So a P2, so he's going to be expensive. Yeah, 505 gold for 7 hit point. I know you're not going for the hit points, but like, yikes. This is this is a very expensive dude. Okay, yeah, he's got fear, but he's not going to be employing that too well. I don't think. Maybe he's got some sort of plan. I'm not sure. A lot of these players are a lot more experienced than I am. And okay, pretty standard mage. There's a couple cool things in there. Yeah, General Bats, Bronze Hatchet, and a Hoplon. A pretty good defense. Yeah. General Troop Line, Great Club, Prot 0. All these guys that die so fast, but you can recruit them on Moss. That's like a staple of bats. The Obsidian Club Sword. Same with Toads. We've looked at these already. The Slave Archers. I'm going to see a ton of those. Probably not too many of the short bows. Probably just going to stay with these, but I could be wrong. This is cool though. Like a Slave Undead, so he won't eat anything. And for an undead having 15 morale, that's interesting. It should be a lot higher, but yeah, I don't know. It's 5 gold a year for 13 prot and an 18 damage mace. Could do a lot worse. It's got an iron shield, 4 parry. If there's lots of archers and stuff, this guy wouldn't be too bad because you get a higher check on projectiles. Higher check, or you take a lot less damage. I know you take a flat off of damage for the bigger shields, but I thought you double the parry for check for taking shots from arrows. Could be wrong. Patrol bonus, high defense, lance, hoof, broadsword, not too expensive, a little high in recruitment points. Probably see a couple of these on attack rear if these aren't his main go. Probably get up to all sorts of shenanigans with this that I can't foresee. I'm pretty sure this leaves a lizard or salamander or whatever it is after it dies, so you'd have to fight the little creature underneath who does the poison spike. But this does fatigue, I think, and not, yeah. So not as dangerous as if it actually added poison damage. But if, say, you could get, I don't know how you get a hit through with like 2 attack 10 on something very strong to actually land this. But even if you do, the fatigue is reduced. But you know, rare occasions will come in handy. And then this kind of comes out of the blue. Like, it's kind of weird, like, all of this together. There's just so many different aspects. This is a pretty cool, you never know what you're kind of going to get in Asia. There's no way this was all random, right? This had to have been, like, a bunch of filters or whatnot. Yeah, so the General Mind Blast Sacred. So this is going to be quite good. And as you saw, you're probably going to see Foul Vapor. So this is going to be protected against that. Cold resistant. Nice to have. He's going to stack these up, I'm assuming, for expansion or early, because these can chew through a lot of early armies. But like I was saying, Mind Blast, it targets magic resistance, so when you're dealing with just general troops with 12, it's going to be a lot less effective. It'll still do work, but I've been seeing a lot of higher magic resistance on these nations. Alright, here is mine. I just thought these guys looked cool. I didn't reroll. I didn't go too hard. All the other nations were in my pack were pretty brutal. So this isn't going to be as cool as some of the other ones, but I'm going to have fun with it. If it stops lagging. I'm going to pause until it stops lagging. Alright, we're back. That took a while. If you know how to fix it, let me know. Scouts. Just general scouts. Not kidding. You're going to hate me because I don't recruit a ton of scouts, but I still kind of see where everything's going on. I recruit enough to see. But I won't have one across the world. Warden. 80 leadership. Pretty strong. 17 defense with a shield. But these are probably going to be my commanders. They can sneak around. Great map move, inspirational 1 and leadership, and morale is probably can be a factor depending on who I'm against. So having that +2 morale on top of my already high morale, so bring up to 16 is pretty good. Come on. So this guy's a P1. That's it. Just P1 with the Great Axe. P2 with a Great Axe. Probably won't be seeing too many of those. I will have Sacreds, but like, you know, you'll see a couple, but not too many. This guy's pretty rad. You can go Body Ethereal. He can Cloud Trapeze. Rare cases he gets more, right? But he can do. It's interesting. I've tried him out a couple times, thugging some provinces with. You know, he's got the fog body or what misform and Cloud Ethereal. Does a lot of work, but he still gets chipped down even with 20 hit points. But he's still pretty strong. I don't know. Could give him a couple weapons or whatnot. Put him in some of the armies as a thug killer. Another Air Astral. This guy can get Astral 3 and Air 2, so bunch of tricks with him. He can Cloud Trapeze as well with a certain random, move around, teleport, all that fun stuff. And the problem with these guys casting spells though is that they're encumbrance 6. So if they're casting spells and whatnot, they're going to be taking quite a lot of bonus encumbrance. So you're going to have to keep that casting script a little shorter for these guys, unless I can find a way to keep their fatigue down. Okay, well this guy's a Astral Fire. I would like to talk about my units. Thank you. All right, Fire Astral. You can do some interesting things with these guys as well. It's obviously not the greatest cross paths. People would definitely want different things, especially even for crafting. But there are some tricks you can do specifically with those two paths. Researching is going to be quite expensive for me. Generally, you want, like, say for 13 research, if this guy was like 130 gold, that would be pretty efficient. But he's not too far off. He is pretty expensive though for 156 gold a year. And now for my big bad. He's camera shy. Man, for such a big guy, he's just kind of just does not want to be seen. Wow. Okay. See what I'm working with though? This is brutal. It's never been this bad. I use air shield, which is nice. Nice to have. It's not something I obviously went for because I did all random. He's stealth because he has glamour, so you can move around the map and no one will see where he is. Innate Astral 4 is big. Air 1, very nice. But he can be innate. It's not out of the realm of possibility to easily get an Astral 5 in the first, 2 years, whatnot. It's not bad at all. Get Moonvine bracelets from him. Yeah, quite good. He can Cloud Trapeze if I need him with the other random. Quite a bit of things this guy can do. He is pricey, but he is a giant. I probably won't be using him for too many of them for kind of upfront combat because spellcasting encumbrance when I know I can put gear on him. But we'll see what I come up with. I do have archers of my own. These were not intended. But I got a short bow guy here. And I got a long bow, a composite bow. I might get some of these. 9 gold, 10 hit points, resources. Almost no recruitment points required. He's a monkey. These are probably going to be... Well, let's be real. Any of these early 2 guys are going to be expanders. So it's between impalers and swordsmen. And I'll move on to something else as I see fit. They're both good. 15 defense. This guy's 14 defense, but he's got to try to... I like the longer length for expanding because repel really... repel really helps with expanding and keeping your attrition down. Whoops. Like say I came against a stack of barbarians. This is going to help a lot with those great swords, not just smashing through this guy's protection and iron shield. Even if he hits with his shield, those barbarians are still going to be hurting these guys. So with defense 14 and a longer weapon, he should be, or attack 11 with a length 3, he should be able to repel a lot of stuff. He won't be able to repel lance charges like this guy can with a length 4. But what do you want? He's a cheap expander, 13 resources, 19 rec points. Then you have the armor, the 2 medium armored versions. Medium armor is protection 13. Spadum, I love this weapon. It's one of my favorite weapons in the game. 12 attack, 22 damage, piercing. So you're going to cut some, I think it's 20%. Is it 20, 25? Off of their armor before you calculate the damage. So even things that are high prot, like say 30, you could still do chip damage too, which is really important, especially when you're dealing with people with crack stakers rolling out with, as you saw, like prot 18, and who else, what else is he going to be stacking on those things? I don't know. His armor could be a lot better, but that helps keeps his resources and stuff down. And his shield really brings his defense up to 14. He'll be seeing a lot of shield hits. Probably not on things like that flail that TX has, but good nonetheless. You got the sword version, if that's your style. Like I do like the sword and board. I'll probably recruit a few of these, but not too many. The broadsword, 21 damage, pretty high. You'll get the bonus damage off it, but I like the offer. I like the chance to repel. This guy's pretty cool. Skirmisher and stealthy. So you can put them in skirmish mode to help avoid getting hit by archers when not. So there should be only 1 to a square, which means the bolt will have a chance to be hitting the ground instead of the unit, and then it also has to take the check against the shield, and that's fine. But as soon as these guys collapse against the enemy, they're all going to be stacked together anyways, and since they're size 3, there's going to be a big enough blob of them that the crossbows will do enough work anyways past that first couple turns. Air shield, which would be nice for people who are going to be stacking kind of crossbows or kind of range attacks or whatnot. Strength of Autumn. I don't think I've ever used anything with this. I think Summer Lions in my last game, where I was the samurais. They had strength of summer, but again, I didn't pay too much attention to what the season was to attack with them. Patrol bonus 3. That's pretty crazy. Cause unrest 0.1. So get too many of these, but 0.1 is not a lot. And with this kind of cost, you're not going to be stacking too many of these. But length 3, damage 18. These guys can hold the line for a bit with defense 16 as repellers. So not bad. Who's next? Nomcorin? Forest Boy. Forest Boy has filled in for me for a couple times when I had to go out for a couple days. So thanks for that, buddy. Look, what's he playing here? Toads. I love toads. Toads are one of my more favorite races, but I haven't played much with them. We got looks like an illithid. Yeah. Doesn't have any kind of mind thing from across the screen or whatever. Range 30. Okay, just weakness. I haven't seen this one before. Interesting. Okay. Oh, look, this guy looks wicked. Like from Chrono Cross, you got the Frog Knight. That's pretty cool. It'd be even cooler if they learned to wear hats, but I think they got like Nat Prot 5, 6. Anyways, he's not going to be combat. He's a leadership role. He's a slave too, so he's going to be cheap. He's a very cheap 80 leadership commander with being able to actually, with the great hide shield and the hit points, be able to take a few ranged or stray crossbow bolts without routing. So, very nice. What is going on here? What is that? Is that like a goblin or a Bakemono? It shouldn't be fight. It looks so weak. But there's a taskmaster and his leadership, so his slaves will have +2 with this guy. He's only got 12 hit points. He does have a shield, but he's pretty silly. Oh, you can go underwater. That's actually pretty big. And now you have one on a rat. So it's funny. Mind Blast P1 is pretty standard. Astral 1 Communion Slave gonna be pretty standard. Astral Death, man, there's a lot of Astral in this game. Probably going to see like my hunting is probably going to be pretty dangerous a lot of the game because got these Astrals who can cut your threads, make you feeble-minded. Oh, that's a big cross path. Might see some meteors from these dudes. +2 at a so this guy can be an Astral 3 and Earth 3 at a pretty high chance, and then he's got water on top of that at the end. But that should open up some construction crosspath items. I don't know how useful that would be, but and then death on top of it, 3 death. Wow, what an incredible mage! This is a little unreliable, but they're all good. So like, why would you even complain? Forest Boy is going to come up with some. He's got a lot of options. What is going on here? This can't be in the unit. Darts. I do like the darts. Not because they're good, but they're fun. Great club. That's a lot of damage. Against things like those berserked units that have innate defense 6 and they'll bring down to defense 1. These are cheap, and they could do some damage against them depending on their bless. As I said before, the club sword is innate to the toads and the bats. No armor, nothing. Just a These guys want to be very brave or very stupid. I guess they kind of go hand in hand in a way. Ooh, these guys are good. Magic Resistance 12, hit points, good hit points for the gold. Low defense, but they're high prot. And magical weapon. It hits like a truck. Pricey. Oh, yeah, that's very pricey. Obsidian Blade. More magical weapons for free. I like this. Good hit points for the gold. Just got a shield. Actually, they're relatively cheap for what they... I'm going to say cheap loosely. No, probably not going to see much of these. Unless he's got a ton of rec points after. If he's got if he's going to be recruiting, say, those high proc guys who takes a lot of resources, but not a lot of recruitment points, he's got some resources left over, he could probably round it out with these dudes and, I don't know, have them in the back to protect against attack careers. But I don't see this being fielded almost at all. Love him. This guy's got a Blessed Poison Dart. Stop the dead. Oh, an anti-undead dart. No, just a leather cuirass and a dart. Very nice. It's got that poison skin. Anyone, I think, base to base with him starts taking fatigue damage. Not quite sure exactly how that works. We're probably going to see a bunch of these dudes. I don't know what this is about. Sleep Touch. Interesting. I doubt that's going to ever come into play, but it's mostly, I think, is for Mind Blast. Archers would tear these guys apart. Yanohito with Asasa. Secret Reptilian Overlord. I see a lot of naked bodies. I love Crocodile Riders and this rando human who's just hanging out with all these lizards. Assassin. So the thing about these guys, these runners, is if they're fast, they got a combat speed 16, so they can get across the field pretty quick. And even with like an item, they can blast across. So if there's a mage casting a spell, it's likely this guy can get across before that mage can actually get that spell off. And he's going to do it with a dagger and a bite attack at attack 15 and 14. So he's very expensive, and I don't see him being... I don't see how he could be used very much, like past early game, but this guy can cruise. He can get across that assassin screen pretty fast. Leadership 40, he can boat people, which is cool. 80, inspirational. Man, but no protection. Any kind of stray arrow is going to hurt these guys. He is sacred, so there is something there. This guy is a leadership 120, morale 2. For the bigger armies, they're probably going to have one of these guys in there. He can lead everything. Don't underestimate someone that can just lead, problem solve for you with all for the leadership task. Very nice. P1, P2, P3 recruitable. Very nice. Okay. I thought I was going to see water in there. Probably we'll see water coming up for Foul Vapors. Death is pretty standard on Lizard Nations. Wait, what's his 120 gold for 11 research, not bad. 2 death, Horde Skeleton Spam, Astral Chance, Nature 2. All these guys will be doing pretty good. Fear. It's Blood Hunters as well. So we can get vampires, crossbreed. This is not bad. 240 gold for 17 research. It is 2 turns, so you're not recruiting these guys as research slaves. They can craft a fair bit. He's got Nature 3, Death 3, Astral 2. Once you get Nature 3, you can start compound crafting your nature buffs to get up to a really high nature. So Mother Oak's pretty. He can get Mother Oak relatively easier once he gets the construction items up, especially if his. Well, the god goes without saying. Ooh, a glaive. 2 attacks, 123, 113, but one is a heavy duty glaive. That's very nice. It's affordable as well. Can mass javelins. Trident naked. Javelin naked. Runner naked. Yeesh. The amount of for as a god, you must not care about lives if this is what you're sending out. I just love crocodile riders. 2 bites. That's so cool. This guy will see some play, I'm sure. He can move across water as well, so he'll have some logistical benefits. And he's got a trident, one of the better weapons. Again, I like the 3 non-spear weapons. Tail swipe. Oh, I thought it was going to be AoE 1. I like this. I hope to see some of these guys. Defense 16 with glamour. These guys will be pretty good at expanding. Because who's going to hit defense? Well, he's defense 12 with a shield and 16, but I like it. Recruit anywhere. Skull Reaver. Wonder what his plan is with this. Can't be quickness. There's probably some tricks. A lot of DPS. And your elves. Your general elves that everybody loves. Protection 16, defense 17, and coverance 3. Because he's on a horse, but no lance, but he's going to be strong. Katasa is Mordecai. Mordecai is a trooper. He slams into games and he tries all sorts of things and he gives it his best every single time. Yeah. he is, I think in every game in my last 3 or 4 he's been in it, just trooping. He's got spies. I haven't used this ability very much. So not quite sure how good that is. He's got his commander there. Storm immunity. Nothing out of the ordinary. This guy can swim. P1, P2. Oh, that might be handy. L just means you can and he's a P2, so P2 L just they can call back gods. And I think there's a lesser chance of them taking penalties as well. I'm not sure about that, but they can call back gods very quickly. Oh, a resource bonus. Fire 1. Oh, so he can be an F2 D3. And if he recruits this 13 research for gold, 175 is not super terrible. It's not great, but not super terrible. But he gets to stack his resource bonuses. And when we start looking down here, some of these guys are looking pretty armored, you'll be able to expand your recruitment limit. And for the most part, more castles can do that for you. But for things that are recruit only at the capital, it'll definitely let you pump those up. So that's pretty good. Okay, so he's got 2 of them. Fire, wind, death, blood. Fire, wind, death. What is the difference between these 2? You're seeing it and I'm not. But I'm moving on. He's a good leader. So map move 12, map move 22. So depending what kind of troops you're bringing with them or how much archer fire you're planning to go against, you'll choose which one you want. Oh, a P3 Elgis 2. And only Rec 2. So he could go with some wow. So what I'd like to do on Abyssia was with my P3 mages and P2 mages is I do recruit a fair amount of them, And when I sit on top of a castle, storming is such a pain with Abyssia because getting through those gates is so annoying. They can just kind of like plug it up and then like blast you. So what I do is I sit on their cap for 1 or 2 turns, and that's all it takes to turn the minion to my side, so that if there was a surprise monolith or whatnot, it has almost no HP, and it's missing its sacred buffs and whatnot, so that really helps. These guys, with Inquisitor and P3, they can just nuke the minion to their side, so that's very interesting. And they can his Rec 2 smite spammers. Only at capital, so I doubt he's going to be recruiting too many of these, but that is such a cool unit. What does Yanohito got here? Oh, wow. So that's a good anti-assassin innate right there. They're old as well, no sacreds, so you can't old age them. 300 gold. Innate death 3. Impossible D4 with wind, so he's got those that very powerful wind death cross path. I like it. All right. Ice protection. So there's a fair amount of cold blood in the game. So if they go to cold 3, that's really going to help protect their territory. Falcons are pretty good too. They got high damage. They don't get the attack bonuses like broadswords, but it's pretty good unit here. General humans, flyers. They're immune to storm. So general troop lineup. See, I like general troop lineups. A lot of people think they're boring, but I really like them. He's got magic armor, which means ice protection for him. It's not too expensive. But again, he's going to be size 3, so attack density will be a bit low. Going to see a fair amount of these. They're like, instead of like a regular troop, these are like 2.5 cost. But 15 attack and 18 damage. It's not too bad. Oh, it's capital only, so he might be going for these instead. Halt sacreds, anti-sacreds. Yeah, definitely going to see these. And in Natgen games, everyone likes sacreds and recruit anywhere sacreds and mage thugs that are sacred, so they can really pump them up. So having this kind of unit with Profane Falcon, and if you have there's a Blood Bless that lets you do more damage to sacreds. If you can stack them on top of each other, these provide, assuming they can hit, they can provide a lot of power for you. I like it. Polar bears, random polar bears. What's not to love? Very nice, Yanohito. Oh, that was not Yanohito. That was Mordecai. My bad. I even said it at the very beginning. Sumi. Kopetsu is W ellipses. I love green. Green's my favorite color. Lightning Strike. Ammunition 1. Not bad for an Alpha Strike, I guess, but it's a scout. Spedum. Love it. Leadership. Cheap. Not cheap, but fairly cheap. I guess you could thug one of these guys out of bed at HP 14. I don't see why you would. Sacred Commander. Patrol. He can ferry around your other flyer troops. He's going to be important, and we're definitely going to see some of him. P1, P2. What is this? Master Ritualist -1. Wow. Wait, but that's -1. So is it more expensive for him to do rituals? Inept researcher? Is this guy just... Who paid for his schooling? He's got like a rich dad who just wanted to get rid of him. Master Smith -1. Brutal. Yikes. He's the kind of guy your mom makes you be friends with. Great cross paths. Love it. Well, without the boost to a 2, it's a lot less valuable, but he can cloud trapeze and be a blood and enter a communion on the fly. So he's pricey to do that job, but if you're running around and a couple of your communions that were important, or blood slaves, or not blood slave, communion slaves are killed and you need one in a pinch, he can do that. Pretty pricey for that role, but man, these guys just bad at everything. Like, I mean, the spells are good. Who's going to argue against Air 2? And this guy can even do Iron Skin and whatnot. I don't know what kind of tricks you're going to do with that, but he is sacred, so you could. Earth 3 with a possible Earth 4. That I like. And he's a P3, which means he's very expensive. 2 turns. 2 or 3 turns, depending on the castle. Air 3. So he's got options here. And this guy's probably going to be Blood 3, yeah. So he's got options here. Very powerful priests. High-end singular pass. I'm not experienced enough to know what he can do with those minor cross paths into those big main in the main pass there, but let's see his troops. Love him. Spat him in a shield. I already love this guy. Not very high magic resist. Strength is low, but it doesn't matter. The Spatum compensates for that. The attack is high. 1 higher than normal. And base defense is higher than normal. Is this an Amazon? Oh, it is Amazon. Okay. Combat speed is a bit slow. I don't know. I like it. For a standard troop, I dig it. Riding a boar. Defense 17. Probably expand with that pretty well. 30 gold. I think the boar is left behind and tramples after. Protection 15, defense 16. Just a solid cav all around. Strength is a bit low, so that short sword is going to do even less damage. But we know they get higher attack and defense skills, so it's a higher chance of that lance. Striking home. The thing I didn't like about Amazon, it seems like, picture like a point buy system. A couple of the points seem kind of wasted in precision. It can help with patrol and whatnot for patrolling down like unrest, but you wouldn't be setting these guys in a province patrolling down like blood unrest. This will find some use for sure. Very nice. Prod 18, defense 15. Very tanky. Very, very tanky. A lot of resources and recruitment points. Flying Nodachi. Oh, it's going to be so much fun watching these. Sacred as well. Are these recruit anywhere? Yes, they are. So we're looking at a blessed build here. 21 damage, 14 attack, length 2. And if they're on hold in attack rear for the first round, they're going to Alpha Strike with these lightning bolts. And don't underestimate these, because if say they're on the left side here and everyone's buffing up, the first round these guys throw these lightning strikes out. If they hit a mage that needs to be a communion slave or a communion master or a big battlefield spell and doesn't have that lightning, and this is going to be a turn one fire, so they might even not get a chance to get lightning protection off. This can, I've had armies beaten because one or two of my mages have been very unluckily stunned. So very cool. I like it. Okay, if this was a spray like a beam, that would have been terrifying. It is still strong, and it is a magical weapon, so it'll wipe things like mirror image or glamour. You know, as we saw, we did see a couple people with it. Some of my units have it. I like it. Defense 18. Good, very good. Didn't expect to see something like this. All right, next we have S ellipses. I'm assuming they know each other. Oh, I love this. Double-headed ogres. They could wear 2 helmets. They better be able to wear 2 helmets. Yeah, they can. Sticks and stones has always been interesting to me because, yeah, they don't do a whole lot of damage, but I love that you can shoot 2 of them in a round. But I haven't really been able to make it work. Yetis do that too, I think, but people never use Yetis for that. Scout. Oh man, 27 damage and 14 attack. That's crazy. So he's one-handing a 2-handed weapon, and he's getting the bonus off it because that's 24 damage, and then he gets even higher because it's a 2-handed weapon, even if he's using it in a 1. Wait, does he have 2 arms? Does he have 3 arms total? He does. 1 on the left and 2 on the right. Huh. Pretty standard. Leadership 120. And he can lead everything. Very nice. P1, P2, Deathfire. Fire and Death. And it can be Fire 3 or Death 2. So Horde of Skeletons, or you can do things like Flame Eruption, Phoenix Power, that kind of stuff, but with no survivability and no Sacred to help with that. I don't think he's going to be doing much of that. He can take an arrow here and there because of his hit points, but with Protection 5, won't be seeing too much of it. Fire Shield, Berserk, Inspirational 1. I'm not sure the validity of using a commander that has Berserk, but he does have a Fire Shield, his Cold Resist, and he's a P1. There's probably uses for him, but I don't know them. Foul Vapors. He can random into Earth. But yeah, mostly it looks like Foul Vapors. Army Healer, 45 units. Love it. I love this, and I think there should be more of this, especially when dealing with... I feel like Death Wind is a very strong, maybe a bit too strong crosspath, but this is... You're going to be seeing a lot of these guys with Army Healer and Foul Vapors and Supply because of the Nature Pass. This is probably one of my more favorite mages in the game. So he'd be Death 4, so he can craft the Fire Booster helmet for for Fire 5. This guy can get out some rituals like no one's business, and then he's got Death 3. He can craft the Fire Death Crosspath Fire Booster as well. So if he does innate 4, he can get up to 6 pretty handily, and he's got that Nature Sprinkle. Raw damage. This guy can throw 17 damage javelins. Pretty good. A range 15. Oh, hell yeah. It'd be cool if they had 2 helmets. But I wouldn't like to see it like double on their prot. Oh, right here. Awesome. I wish I had this guy. Oh man. He's size 3. He won't be hitting too many times, but what he does hit, it's going to hurt. And since he's taller than a lot of units, and with a length 2 weapon, he's going to be getting a lot more head hits, and that damage is going to be increased. I think it's by 50% on head hits. Unfortunately, a lot of units, their helmet seems to be like a really high prot one, but that doesn't matter when you got a gray club doing this much. I'm surrounded. Yeah, great. I love it. He's probably got 4 eyes too. Not going to come into play where he goes blind, but I hope I see a lot of these. Dual throwing axes. I don't see too many of that. So range 21, 26 damage. Okay, S ellipses. You have one of my more favorite lineups. This is friggin' rad. And he's got fire. So he can flaming weapon these. But I mean, who cares about what, 17 or so? What is flaming weapon? 7 or something like that? 7 armor piercing damage? When you got 26 damage, it doesn't matter that they're attack 6. Let them spray wherever you want them to. They're going to kill whatever they hit. Pretty standard. Length 5 long spear. This guy's also going to be... He's only attack 10, so he won't get too much repels off, but he'll stop himself from being repelled, because there's nothing that's going to be repelling this, unless you get like a giant with a pike. Very nice, protection 16. And he's got a shield. Yeah, shield. Is this recruit anywhere? No. So I feel like we're going to be seeing a lot of these guys and a lot of these guys. But his lineup's so good. I'm so jealous. I almost want to save this and play this. I can play this in a single player game. Berserk 1, Fire Shield. Fire Shield is so underrated against... I guess not underrated, everyone kind of knows it, but it's so good against things with like glamour or whatnot, because they come in with those hoof attacks and they remove their own images. Pierce resistant. That's actually quite good for the amount of... I didn't see a whole lot of crossbows in the game, but there's going to be a few nations with a ranged core. All these guys have ambidextrous 6 and have only 1 weapon. Magic resistance 16. 22 gold a year for 22 hit points. Not bad. Well, that it's sacred, I mean. Love it. And then Coin. I don't know how to say your name, man. Coiniac or Coinage? Coiniac McGalepine? We're going to call it Coin. Scout. Leader. He's only 60. He does have the inspirational 1, but why wouldn't you just get this guy? Got a lot of leaders here, actually. Got another Divine Insights, a Philosopher. Okay. I'd improve research in line with sloths and worsen research and productivity. So he probably doesn't have... But he's got... Looks like he's got high prot dudes to recruit. Anyways. Earth 1. Earth 1 on its own. I don't know what to do with Earth 1 on its own, but maybe let me know. He's probably like on the lower end of the random of this group. You're probably not looking at him when you took this one. This, though. Come on. There we go. Earth 2, always great to have. Ooh, Earth 3? Earth 3, nice. With the Wind Cross Path. I know Earth and Blood together, you can make Earth boosters. Definitely will see some of these. And he's sacred. He can't bless anyone, but he can take things like reinvigoration and whatnot. Innate Earth 3, just right out of the box. So put some boots on him, Earth Power, and you can do a lot of buffs with this dude. Oh man, this guy's gonna be a... I don't see how he doesn't go troop based. He can shapeshift into a werewolf. I don't see how he's not going to do like Marble Warriors, Strength of Giants, Weapons of Sharpness, like as fast as he can. Yeah, Because like that kind of stuff on a Prod 18 Defense 5 would just be huge. And they got flails, they can fly. They can pump out DPS for relatively cheap. Long spears. The thing about long spears and shields is like your defense is only 14. Did I say 14? I mean 9. I like this guy. Attack 12 on the short sword. Ooh, these guys hit hard too, but the flails will probably take precedence over these dudes. These guys also hit like trucks. So you get those low prop people who are relying only on prop. These guys can fly down, and flying is supposed to have like a bonus to attacking first before the other people, but I'm not quite sure how it works because I've had it where they've flown onto my Abyssian units, and my Abyssian units got to murder them first before they got a swing. What is this? 0 armor piercing fatigue damage. So is that off his strength? Or is that just a dice roll off of 0? But would it ignore? Huh. But it's a 19 damage first armor piercing hit. I don't see that guy being recruited too much. But again, I could be wrong. There could be something that he does. I never had too much luck with these kind of guys. I feel like they're expensive and then they get chopped down. But you can fit 2 to a square. And they can repel, and they do hit quite hard. Okay, never mind. We know what this is, what we're going to see from this nation. He's going to have enlarge. I don't see why he wouldn't, but try resist on top of that? That's crazy. It's only 5, but it's enough to like counter fatigue based and stuns from lightning and weather effects. And he can fit... No, he can't fit 2 to a square. Formation Fighter seems kind of wasted on him. Because you can fit 6 size points to a square. So if you have 2 of these units, you can fit 8 to a square. But even if you didn't have large, that's 10 size points. This guy's going to be a problem. And these guys are awesome. I love these guys. Got fear. They don't trample, but they can just kind of stay against a... They don't trample, but that means they don't like dig into units and then get attacked from all sides and killed. And unsurroundable does nothing. Unsurroundable 1 doesn't do anything for that kind of scenario. This lets them sit against a wall and take hits only from that front line, and then fear and lower their morale so that their whole troop routes. So I like the fact that if they did have trample, you could do other tricks because they are sacred. But no, I like it. If they are allowed to get big, I can see them being very, very strong troop rise, because you'll have like 4 or 5 giant armies that have like weapons of sharpness and just units to spare, reinforcements from however far away because they can fly. Very solid. And I'm gonna guess that Mandar is... Oh, right. I love this nation. I'm in love with Abyssia, so having like mini Abyssians is just, it touches my heart. Sticks and stones. You got your scout. No one's ever going to see him at stealthy 75. I think that's because he's small and he's glamored, because glamored usually only gives you 65, I believe. Going to be almost impossible to detect. You got a leader. Got another leader. Oh, what the fuck is going on? Sorry, swearing. What is going on with this? This guy's got 4 attacks. Is he riding something? Is that like a little bat? It's hard to see. Anyways, he's not going to be using it for that, I don't think. It's got 4 attacks. It's cool, but 80 leadership, I think, is what you're going for there. Spell Singer. T2 trainer. Feyhounds at the temples. Are those sacred? Are those green ones? That's pretty cool. Wind in Nature. I think there's a booster when Wind in Nature. Wow. Look at these. You can do all sorts of stuff with that. They're only one each, but you can buff to E2 for Earth 3. Yeah, Earth Power for Earth 3. Cloud Trapeze. Sacred. Innately shock and fire resistant. 410 gold for 8 hit points. Yeesh. It does have assassin protection built in. Damn. I don't know what his plan with this. This is so weird to me. Mandar's got a plan. I don't know what it is. He's not going to build any of those, I don't think. Short bow. No one builds short bows. 16 defense and glamour, so it's going to take a few hits to hit these guys. 17 prot, 14 defense. Encumbrance 11. Oof. They can hold the line though, provided they're not against AoE. Oh, it's that same commander with the 4 attacks. They must be mounted because he's got flying. So 4 attacks, attack rear. I mean, 3 damage, 11. But dice rolls happen, But Mandar's wild. Cap only. Smiting Mace. Berserker 3. So this will go up to 17 damage. And the Blessed can go up more. They don't fly, but they have 15 defense, and they're glamoured. I like this. Protection 15, defense 15. 3 hits at 13, one's a lance, so it'll be higher. Oh man, so these cost a lot of gold. I don't know what you're planning, Mandar, but I won't see it coming because I can't figure it out. That's everyone's nations. My voice, my throat is sore from talking so much. That's a lot of talking for me in a day. Thanks for watching.